Tell them to come in the camera just a bit. Hospitals are full of authorized personnel that are skilled in various life-saving medical techniques. A shorter name would be doctors and nurses. The first person we call when we get injured is emergency services. Emergency services typically have immediate response time. And when they arrive, they begin asking questions about how you were injured. They do this out of instinct because they're trained to do so to assist a hurt person until they're able to get immediate medical treatment. First responders typically have less training than doctors. As a matter of fact, they only have about 80 hours of training. But in those 80 hours of training, they learn all the necessities in order to keep a patient alive until they reach a hospital. Despite this, people claim that medical treatment is a scam and is overpriced. Let's look at doctors and nurses though. Doctors and nurses, before they become certified, must obtain a bachelor's in medicine before they can start helping patients. That's in the range of 4 years minimum. But what separates the two is the extensive training. To be a doctor in any given field, it takes about 10 to 15 years minimum. Now, that sounds like a lot, but just look at what doctors can do. They can treat brain disease, they can treat blood disorders, they can treat heart failure, they can treat cancer outbreaks, and they can treat much, much more. What separates the patient from treatment is the cost. Hospitals do in fact dish out incredible bills. However, functional medicine and medical treatment requires costly and extended research. Let's just look at two of the reasons why medical treatment is not overpriced. It's not easy to become a doctor. Most doctors have already devoted their time to gain the skills necessary. This includes a bachelor's in medicine, 4 years of medical school, and before they can acquire their official board certification, they also have to go through a residency program. The total amount of time it'll take to become a doctor ranges from 11 years to 18 years. That was a quote from an article by Lorraine Chan, who is a medical student herself. 11 years is not a quick visit, but when we go to hospitals, without the proper medical training, it would take quite a long time to figure out how to treat an injury. That's where doctors come in. They have the training to show us the next steps. They have the knowledge to make proper diagnosis. It comes as a surprise when people claim that medical care is overpriced. Let's say a doctor gains his profession in heart surgery. With his or her skill set, they can treat at least 5 different medical issues. A heart surgeon can treat artery disease on one day, and on the same day, they can treat myocarditis. A chief surgeon in the vascular field can start their afternoon removing blood clots and follow up in the same evening with a full carotid artery disease procedure. A general surgeon is like a general doctor with extra powers. That quote comes from the medical team at a well-known Ohio clinic. There's something else to think about. While doctors heal our wounds, they can also heal our feelings as well. If we get nervous before a procedure, doctors and nurses will try to calm us down as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Doctors take their time to figure out the best approach for a situation with bad news, and also the best approach for a situation with good news. We shouldn't leave hospitals feeling worse than when we arrived. So we should give a big thanks to the medical staff of today for trying their best to heal our injuries. The job of a medical staff is to heal ailments that others cannot heal. A large portion of their lives is devoted to medical school. They can expect a minimum of 10 years before they become close to being certified as a doctor. Doctors and nurses not always train in one single specialty. They're sometimes trained in multiple specialties. So when a nurse shows up with so many questions, it's because they already know at least 10 different things that could be wrong, but they need to be certain before they can make a proper diagnosis. And that's not easy. Doctors too can provide multiple treatment options. Their training in medicine branches them far from any average person that we meet. Medical treatment is not overpriced because it's a privilege that we should always appreciate. Yeah, that's just the end of the video.
That's some good knowledge right there.